How are we doing, guys? Aston Villa 2, Leeds 3, and it's player rating time. I apologise for this being a little bit later. Dan had planned firstly, I had to head off straight to a party after I did the review, so I had to go to that first, and I've just come back and I'm now going to do the player rating. So let's get straight on with it. Bailey Peacock-Farrell first of all. For me, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, it's one of them. I think on the second goal, to be honest with you, he should do better. And maybe I'm being too critical of Bailey Peacock-Farrell, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical, expecting too much. And I have always said that I do think Bailey Peacock-Farrell has got immense potential. You know, he's starting in the team at 22, I'm not 100% sure. He's top of the table and he's the first choice keeper. You know, he has clearly got something about him. But today, I felt it was another poor performance. You know, I think he costs us the second goal. You know, it's another shot close to his body. He should be doing better there for me. He does make a really, really important save at 2-2, which is a good instinctive save. But yeah, there was just some moments in that second half when he was just creating panic, where sometimes he was coming off his line too quickly, and you know, he was sort of creating a chance from doing that. You know, I think in the second half, you know, a hopeful ball just gets launched forward. Jonathan Codger's chasing it down the corner, and Bailey Peacock-Farrell's gone to try and meet it, hasn't met it, and it's presented an opportunity for Aston Villa. Didn't make the most of the opportunity. There's one in the second half where a through ball, clearly it's there for Bailey Peacock-Farrell to go for. He didn't go for it, he sort of retreated back, and it almost created an opportunity as well. You know, and I think today there was a bit of that, there was a bit of nervousness. But I have to say, I felt in the second half his distribution improved a lot. You know, that's my criticism has been a little bit of Bailey Peacock-Farrell in terms of distribution. You know, sometimes his speed, he's not really releasing the ball quick enough, he's not taking enough risks. But in that second half, he started to take risks, he started to play the more difficult passes, the more risky passes, trying to break that press down. And he started a lot of our moves, that, and I have to give great credit for Bailey Peacock-Farrell for doing that. It's a 5 or 6 out of 10 for me for Bailey Peacock-Farrell today. You know, he did have some good moments, but ultimately did make another error on the goal for me in that first half. But it didn't cost us at the end of the day, and he made an important save. On to Luke Ayling, who started the game right back. For me, defensively, did absolutely nothing wrong. He made a crucial challenge in that second half, moved to left back and looked pretty comfortable, but just wasted a few opportunities going forward. You know, some poor crosses from good crossing sort of positions and angles and that lot, and he just sort of wasted those opportunities. Sometimes a few sort of like loose passing, you know, giving the ball away a little bit, but about a 6 out of 10 for me. You know, not definitely not at his best, but a decent, you know, return into the team against a really top winger in Yannick Bolasie. And I thought defensively he did a really good job on Yannick Bolasie. Just sometimes going forward didn't quite make the most of his opportunities, I didn't think, by his standards. Centre back Pontus Jansson. I have to say, Pontus Jansson, I absolutely adore the man. But on the first goal, I do have to be honest, I think he got sold a little bit easily by Tammy Abraham. You know, it's a great move off Villa. You know, it's 1 touch, 2 touch. It's a great, the speed of the move. You know, it is difficult maybe to pick up and read the situation, but I felt Tammy Abraham sort of found that space a bit too easily. And I think Pontus just lost in that 1-2 yards, and unfortunately a striker of the quality of Tammy Abraham is going to finish that chance. But other than that, Pontus Jansson, absolutely superb. You know, he's stepping up into the press. You know, he wasn't just sort of sitting back as a sort of standard centre back. He was looking to press all the time, and it's just really impressive against a top team with the pace of Aston Villa, trying to play that high line, trying to lead that, you know, trying to push that line up all the time. Really impressive, especially in that second half. The aggressiveness of that. We're 2 down, another goal, the game's over, but we weren't bothered about that. It was all about trying to get back into the game, being aggressive and pushing the line up, and it was really impressive to see. Carried the ball well, and of course he gets himself the goal as well. Knock a little bit off for the first goal, but for me a 7 or 8 out of 10 comfortably for Pontus Jansson. I thought in that second half he was an absolute warrior and back to his absolute best in that second half, definitely. Calvin Phillips was solid throughout for me, easily a 7 out of 10. You know, I think he did well against Tammy Abraham for most of the game. Tammy Abraham was Villa's best player by a mile for me today. He's an absolutely superb player. You know, his link-up play is good, finished with both feet. If he has one chance in the game, he finishes it. He links up play well. He won a couple of headers against Pontus and KP, and I felt KP did a really good job on Tammy Abraham today. I'm gonna got to go with about a 7 out of 10. Leith Davis, for me, started the game really well. You know, he was up against Jonathan Codger, who was playing on the right hand side. You know, expected it to be El Ghazi, but it was Jonathan Codger, and it's, you know, obviously it's a surprise for Leith Davis to, you know, be sort of put into the team with the Barry Douglas, you know, illness before the game started. But I thought he did okay. There was only one slight criticism. I thought in the second half he was getting a little bit, maybe he could have had a booking, 2 bookings possibly. Could have possibly, diving in a little bit too much for my liking. But all in all, I thought he was solid enough to go easily a 7 out of 10. To go to Villa Park, perform the way he has done. But I can see why he was taken off. That's probably the point I'm getting at. He was getting a little bit. I think he was on a booking. He was sort of still diving in, showing that little bit of inexperience. But for me, what a talent we could have there. Looks good, going forward. Some lovely crossings into the box. Defensively, disciplined defensively. Never really gave Jonathan Codger any sort of angles to attack into. I thought it was a good performance for Leif Davis. So I'll go back to 7 out of 10, possibly even go higher than that, considering the situation he was thrown into. Adam Forshaw holding midfield. Now, you all know how much I admire Adam Forshaw, but for me today, he had a poor game. I think as a defensive midfielder, your job has to be to put out fires and stop situations developing. But for me, for both goals, I have to put it down to Adam Forshaw. It's sort of the initial build-up to him, and I love Adam Forshaw. I think he's a massive, really important part of this team, which gives us that experience. But today, just not great. I thought in the first goal, he lets John McGinn go a bit too easily, and it sort of creates that sort of space for the goal. Second goal, especially the second goal for me, I think Jonathan Codger has it too easily. He cuts inside, and he's trying to have a go at our defence. I think Adam Forshaw has to be coming across there quicker, a bit more aggressive. I thought his challenge wasn't great. He sort of, I know he wasn't trying. I know he didn't want to give the free kick away because the quality Villa have. But sometimes you have to be that little bit more aggressive for me. But I don't want to criticise Adam Forshaw too much. But for me, it was a poor performance today, and I felt the whole momentum of the game shifted with those 2 goals. Could have shifted even with those 2 goals. I'm going to have to go out 3 or 4 out of 10, purely because his job is to protect that back four. And for me, on the first 2 goals, that didn't really happen. Definitely much improved in the second half. Thought showed some good range of passing as well. So I'll go back, 4 out of 10. I'll probably go for Adam Forshaw today, purely because of the 2 goals. Right hand side, Ejder Alioski. What a performance of Ejder Alioski. I mean, I've read a couple of comments from my review, Joe's review. It was a fantastic performance from Ejder Alioski today. He protected Luke Ayling really well. He was just determined to put a shift in, pressing really well, and we won the ball high so much because of Ejder Alioski's pressing. I thought it was really impressive. Got some great crosses into the box. He linked up play well. Some lovely sort of inside passes, creating the spaces, getting shots off. Nice and positive. Played a big part in that 3rd goal as well. It was his hopeful ball, but he saw that ball. He saw that pass that created the panic that led to the Camaroof goal. It's got to be an 8 out of 10 at least for Ejder Alioski today. Onto the midfield too. The high 8s, if you like. Matthias Klich, first of all. For me, Matthias Klich was not quite on it in that first half. He didn't quite. We had decent control of the game in that first half, certainly in the middle of the park. But I didn't quite feel it was Matthias Klich at his finest in that first half. But second half, absolutely superb. I think he completely won that battle between him and Conor Hourihane, especially those sort of last 60 minutes or so. I don't think Conor Hourihane could cope with sort of Matthias Klich's sort of link up play. Pablo Hernandez drifting out all over the place, sort of playing that Summer Saï's role. And I felt Matthias Klich was absolutely superb in that second half, and he played a big part in the goal as well. Got to be at least a 7 out of 10 for me. Maybe knock a mark off or so for his first half performance, but that was a really good second half performance from Matthias Klich. He led that in that midfield of the park. He sort of helped to build the momentum, I felt. Pablo Hernandez, unbelievable. I mean, that second half is possibly, easily this season, the best individual performance I think I've seen all season in that second half. It was just absolutely incredible what he did in that second half. He completely changed the momentum of the game. Matthias Klich played a part, Adam Forshaw played a part as he improved in the game, but for me, Pablo Hernandez, he makes the first 2 goals. Great pass to Jack Clarke, great touch, turns John McGinn, and then brilliant corner and cross for Pontus Jansson's goal. And it's just an amazing performance of Pablo Hernandez. I've got to go 9 out of 10. He was my man of the match today. Left hand side, Jack Harrison. Now, Jack Harrison didn't happen for him today. Some nice touches here and there. He made some nice runs into sort of the back post and got a chance from it. Early on in the game, it could have made it 1-1. But yeah, I think on the second goal as well, he lost the ball a bit too easily. It's got to be a 5 out of 10. I just felt it was a bit of an ineffective Jack Harrison performance. He didn't do anything other than maybe on that goal. Didn't do anything especially wrong, but didn't really make enough happen for me today. Kemar Roof, up front, 8 out of 10 comfortably. You know, he makes that chance for Jack Harrison early doors. He really had to battle against James Chester and James Bree at the back there. You know, two quite physical defenders. You know, I know James Bree was playing out of position, but they are tough players to play against for Kemar Roof. You know, they weren't really leaving that much space in behind. Not as much space as I was expecting because of how much we forced Villa back. You know, Villa weren't able to play on the front foot, which I think would have suited Kemar Roof a bit more. But he was able to be intelligent. He just kept making the runs. He kept pressing. He just never stopped running. As Joe said, he never ever stopped running Kemar Roof, and that's what I really like about him. I've really liked about him this season. And then the finish of the goal is absolutely superb. On his weak foot, on the volley, 90+, 4th minute, and it's bottom corner. You know, as soon as it left his boot, I knew it was going in. And it's just a brilliant performance. You know, he's had to wait 94 minutes for his chance, despite how much dominance of the game we've had. He's had to be selfless throughout the game, but he's got that one chance and he's took it. It's an 8 out of 10 comfortably for me today. Substitutions, Jack Clarke, 8 out of 10 again. Possibly even higher than that. I mean, that goal was just absolutely incredible. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The confidence, just running 20-25 yards, never getting fazed by the opportunity. And what really impressed me with that was, as soon as he scored, it's his first goal for Leeds United. It's an absolute stunner. It's at Villa Park. It's in the crucial game. And the only thing Jack Clarke was focused on was getting the game restarted, picking that ball up and getting straight to the centre circle. That is absolutely amazing for me, you know, I have to say. Substitutions, try and think who we had. Jamie Shackleton came on at right back. I thought Jamie Shackleton did really well. You know, he makes that, I wouldn't say he made that third goal, but he made a really important run on that outside, which drags one or two players out of position. It sort of moves the whole defence sort of a bit more across to the left. And it might be a small detail, but it has played a big part in that engine going forward, and it just created that space, and it created